You've never sounded more like an old lady than you asking me if I like cottage cheese. Newest poll question unlocked. Do I eat cottage cheese? On occasion when I'm like dieting or desperate.
It's an excellent source of protein.
You see,
So,
dieting. So do I like it? No.
okay, well, do you eat it with jelly and granola? It's like yogurt, just a different, chunkier texture.
Again, when I'm dieting, do I cover it up with things
Ah.
to make it edible? Yes. Do I like it? I think the answer is if I only eat it if it's covered up in sugar and carbs, the answer is I actually don't like it.
Well, okay, Candy, I've had that same exact thought process with fish, where everyone says, "Oh, this is such a good fish. It doesn't taste at all like fish." I'm like, what if I just never eat fish? Seems like the easiest
Okay,
way.
that is totally valid, and I kind of agree with you.
Thank you.
Sometimes though, okay, because meat can have a very pungent flavor and like quote
Hmm.
unquote like the fishy taste to me is really kind of like a rotten, stinky fish. And like a
You
good
know,
fish has a light flavor to it, but it's not that like pungent smell
okay.
taste.
I think if people said it like that, they're like, this fish doesn't taste rotten. That makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're just looking for a fish that doesn't taste like fish, I can name plenty of vegetables that do that.
Uh,
Cottage cheese is also one that doesn't taste like fish. Also, lots of protein.
well, because I, so with fish, there's a special way that you can prepare it. It's something with like as the material starts to break down, some of the bacterias or enzymes or whatever it is creates this very intense taste and smell that's not very good. So to
Mm.
me, it's when it's the fish is not particularly fresh or it's not particularly good piece of fish. And that's like when you say like fishy, it smells like a fish market. But like good
Yes.
fresh fish, in my opinion, doesn't should not taste like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're right. It's just been a good 20 something years without fish. So,
I know. Do you like sushi?
I've never had sushi with fish. I've only had vegetable sushi. I know. I
Okay.
know.
For our listeners, Chrissy grew up her whole life. I mean, we were kind of oh shoot. The pop reference is escaping me. The um Gypsy Rose. We Gypsy Rosed Chrissy and we are like, you can't eat fish. You're allergic to it. You can't eat it. If you eat it, you'll die. And then it turns out not allergic,
Okay, is Gypsy
right?
Rose the one whose mom told her she was sick with all these illnesses and then she killed her?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't bring you to the brim of killing mom. We took one step in that direction and we said, you know what? We're just gonna stop at the fake fish allergy.
Well, I thought you always said you were allergic to fish because you just didn't want to eat it
Well, you know what? I tried to eat it one time and my throat did close around it, but it was because I was gagging.
because it didn't taste
I was just
good,
like, it's
because it tasted fishy.
I just, when you eat something and you get the heebie-jeebies and your body is like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I tried a piece of shrimp and my body was like, absolutely not. That is not happening today. And I think I secretly knew I was not allergic to fish, but I was also like, this is a great excuse to not eat fish, as many of us have done. But my story was even stronger because Chrissy truly does have allergies. So, I mean, it's genetic.
Well, you didn't you have any allergies too? I mean, we were both going to the allergist, right?
We were getting Gypsy Rosed.
Well, Mom was like, "You guys are homeschooled. We need an activity. Let's go to the
Yeah,
hospital."
let's go to the doctor. Let's
What
get
if you
little
get shots for
shots.
3 hours?
I mean, Okay, so to be real, I do have like some like dust allergies. I kind of feel like dust, everyone is allergic to dust. I don't know
I feel
anyone
like it'd
who
be
can have
weird. Yeah. I feel like it'd be weird
dust
if
gets in your
you
nose
did
and your
great on
body's
dust.
like, yeah, and your body's like, come on in.
I feel stronger than ever.
Yeah, because an allergy really is like a something comes into your body and it says, "Oh no, this should not be here. Let's get rid of it."
Yeah. But your
And
body's just overreacting to normal
it's
things.
overreacting, yeah, to normal things. So I guess maybe that's what they're saying is that you have a more intense reaction to dust than perhaps
Yeah.
others.
Yeah, I guess like people who are allergic to bees, it's like, well, aren't we all allergic to bees?
Yeah.
But some people really get bad. None of us do good with bees.
Okay, fair, fair, fair. And I mean, the flip side of the argument could be that the allergy shots worked and I'm cured.
I thought they were just testing us. Did we get like therapeutic shots?
Yeah, for
Oh,
years.
I didn't know that's what was happening.
Oh my God.
Maybe I did. I just totally forgot.
I mean, we went through the whole gambit. We have, as always, a lot to cover.
A lot.
The question is, we have like Bookalytics uncontrollably popping off. So do we talk about it now or are we going to do that special episode?
I think we gotta wait because I think we can talk a lot about this book because a lot happens in the second half. Is
Yeah,
that what you're thinking?
that's what I'm thinking. And I have a theory that I know who the real Allison M. Kovacs is. And I think it is a pen name. And I think she's actually another famous author
What?
of
You're
someone that we've
kidding.
read.
Elantris? Brandon Sanderson?
What kind of writing style? Okay, let me just think. If you had
Oh,
to
oh,
pick,
oh, oh, God of the Woods? It's
oh, that's
more?
interesting. No, I wasn't thinking
Talking
Liz
about writing
Moore.
style. Oh, okay. So you think it's another author that we've read with a
Hmm.
similar writing style?
Yep.
I mean, could be Addie LaRue.
That's what I was
She wrote
thinking.
really nice.
Because, okay, because what I was thinking, how this book starts is it starts off like kind of confusing, and then it slowly goes around the horn, layering in, filling in the pieces. Like we finally
Hmm.
get the critical backstory at like the very end.
And I didn't even know it was happening.
Yeah. And who did that but Addie LaRue, giving us like the critical
Hmm.
pieces like later on to like build the intrigue.
That's intriguing. What was the author's name?
V.E.
B.E.
Schwab.
Schwab. Um,
Now, why would she choose
Allison.
to do this? Many would say that there's absolutely no reason for that.
But we know.
I'm just thinking maybe she's like, I'm really famous for all of these books. She normally does science fiction. And she's like, I want to do something on mythology, but I don't know if I want to put it in the V.E. Schwab brand.
She doesn't want to expand.
Well, I don't know.
Also, she doesn't want to use her same publisher.
Well,
Would that be
okay. So
too
here,
obvious?
all right, you want to hear my list of evidence?
Go for it.
Number one, the writing style. Number two, a critical player in the book's name is Addie.
That's all the evidence I need.
Are you convinced? Okay. Okay. Number two, in the back of the book, it says Allison M. Kovacs lives in a house with a big sunny garden, blah, 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 blah. Her spouse is similarly fenced away from her plants. Da, 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 da. She says her spouse, not her husband.
Okay.
Sometimes people will use spouse as like a, I'm gay.
Okay.
V.E. Schwab came out as gay at the age of 28. Okay, so that was one thing. Another thing is that we said, wow, this person knows a lot about like Celtic mythology.
Mm-hmm.
Schwab was born in the US, but guess where they live now?
Germany?
The
Or no,
UK.
Ireland? UK?
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe, let's see. It says somewhere. Mm. I saw it on her Wikipedia. Also, V.E. Schwab keeps very little information about herself. So, okay. She lives in
Mm.
Edinburgh, in
Edinburgh.
Scotland.
Mm.
Edinburgh, Scotland, which is where all of these references are. The only thing that I couldn't find that would really seal the deal is if Schwab went anywhere and taught in Japan. It feels like there was no time for that given her like career trajectory. I was like, but I don't know.
Are you ready for me to complete your theory?
Yes.
B. Schwab and Allison M. Kovacs are separate people, but they're married. Allison went to Japan. B. Schwab went to wherever, the Celts, and then fusion.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So we okay. Wait a
Hot
minute.
off the press.
Who is the publisher of this book?
I saw something in the beginning about like child baby god
Tiny
when it
Child of
published.
God.
Yeah,
Okay.
published with the blessings of the tiny child god. I don't know if that's the publisher, but I did think that was kind of interesting.
Hmm. All right. I think we email Allison at the end of this and we ask if she will reveal her true identity.
A lot for her to do.
I think after committing all of this time investigating and reading the book, we've earned it.
You know what's kind of crazy, Candy?
What?
I think we're going to be the only content on Spotify about this book. So anyone
That
else who reads this is going to say they're going to come to us for the insight.
we are literally the experts.
Well, that was my concern is I really don't feel like I've studied enough to
Okay, I
to
don't know about you.
know.
I feel like a freaking expert in this book.
I think I think maybe you need to explain it to me because I didn't do a very good job of reading ahead and uncovering all the facts.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I
So
did start writing summaries that I didn't finish.
I think that's a good choice. I
Yeah,
think that's a good choice. I had another question for you.
tell me.
What is your emoji? I didn't send you mine. I'm
Oh,
just going to tell you
shoot.
what it is.
I forgot to think about emojis. Okay, I think I would definitely have like a question mark or like a emoji, like just kind of confused. Maybe the monocle one. I really like that one. I would have that emoji where it's the the
Man in a
fake,
disguise.
yes, the eyeglasses and the mustache. Because Aaron is 5 different identities at once.
Oh my God.
Um, okay, I would definitely have the mind blown one, I think.
Yep. Yep.
Um, maybe I mean, just basically anyone that conveys incredulity. Is that the word? When you're
It sounds right.
incredulous?
Incredulous. You always say incredulous, and I always forget what it means.
When you're like, unbelievable. That's
Yes.
incredulous.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's a good word. I need to mix
It
it in.
is. Yeah. So those were kind of all the same emojis,
Okay.
but I did like it.
You know what mine would be?
Dragon.
No, it would be 10,000 mirrors for like the infinite mirrors. Because
That's a good one.
I feel like it's like everyone's like, I'm actually this person. No, I'm this person.
You're like,
No, I'm that person. No, I'm that person. And
oh,
you're like, what is happening? And it's like it gets flipped around so many times. I'm like,
oh, someone tell me the truth.
yes, yes. And I think, like our author, Allison M. Kovacs, who we know is V.E. Schwab. Can you spell V.E. Schwab with Allison M. Kovacs?
I thought of that too. I don't think so. I think there's a lot
No,
of
there's no
unique letters in each
W.
one. There's a lot of letters missing.
Okay, there's a few. We don't know what the M stands for, so maybe.
Married to V. Schwab. Easy. Case closed.
Case closed. Yeah, but I think we emailed this author and we find out.
We liked your book. Can you tell us who you actually are? Because we
Yeah.
think we like to do a segment on our podcast about the author recap, and there was nothing to recap on you.
Yeah. So now we're just gonna come to you straight for the goods.
Need to give the people what they want.
That's right. Okay, well, are we gonna do this thing?
We gotta.
Let's
It's
do
time. Cool. Well, welcome to Bookalicious, a podcast where two sisters chat about books and uncover mysteries. I'm Chrissy.
And I'm Candice.
And today we're finishing Fox's Tongue and Kirin's Bone by, you already know, Allison
V.
married to
Schwab.
V. Schwab Kovacs.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. So, all right. So do you want me to briefly recap where we left off and then read you my part 1 summary of the first few chapters?
I think that sounds good.
Okay, great. So where we just left off was Aaron had taken the Fae, who we now know is actually Princess Rose, out on the town to see the festival down in the slums. They end up getting like taken by the guards and like, hey, you got to go back to the castle. They bring her back to the castle, and then there's an assassination attempt on Princess Rose, but Aaron slices the person up real quick and saves Princess Rose. Turns out it was his friend Gwen from down in the slums. And he's like, oh my gosh, how did I kill her? In the kerfuffle, Aaron had gotten scratched with her blade and her blade had poison on it. So now Aaron is basically on his deathbed and everyone is like, we're kind of thankful. We are thankful that you saved the princess, but also how did you know there was going to be an assassination attempt? So there's a lot of suspicion around Aaron. And so that's where we left, right? He was like dying.
Yeah. Yeah. We left him on his deathbed.
Yep.
We said, great place to end the pod.
We'll just leave you there, Aaron. You seem pretty comfy.
Yes.
Okay. So you ready for summary from chapters just 25 to 27? Because a lot is happening.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. So here's a summary I have. So Aaron is recovering from the poison, and in his fever dream, he speaks with his death and learns that Marcus's fate, the guy who he's impersonating, was to save the kingdom and allow humans to rebuild shadow of their past. So Marcus was going to do this great thing, but instead of Aaron dying, Marcus died instead. So now Aaron's in his place. The death tells him that this path is no longer available, and Aaron tells his death that he still wants to live. So Aaron wakes up. When he wakes up, he finds Rose and Connor in his room because they've been visiting him while he recovers. They call him Marcus and say, hey, we know your secret now. We know that you're actually Marcus pretending to be Aaron because the lady told us. But don't worry, only the royal family knows that you're really Marcus. The rest of the castle still thinks you're just plain old Aaron. Then they also tell him that the Duke Song of the South is coming in 8 weeks to present a petition to the king. Aaron doesn't want to keep up this Marcus facade in front of Marcus's dad, so he decides he has 8 weeks to fully recover so he can flee the castle. So during those 8 weeks, Rose says, actually, I don't really know who you are, but I don't think you're Marcus because you don't know how to read. So I'm going to teach you how to read so that you can pretend to be Marcus. And in exchange, Aaron teaches her how to defend herself and how to fight. And then in chapter 27, the Duke finally arrives.
Yes. And so the Duke is the real Marcus's dad.
Right. Yes.
So let's just get this straight again. The lady knows that Aaron is not Marcus.
No, the lady thinks he's actually Marcus. Right? That's how I read it.
Okay. Yeah. She thinks he's actually Marcus, which is the craziest thing of this entire book, which we'll find out later.
Do you want us to just say it now?
Yeah, let's just say it now.
Okay, say it.
She's his mom? Or is she his aunt?
The family tree is so convoluted. I
Yeah.
don't think she's his mom because there's a line where she says, I wish I was your mom. And
Okay.
she would
Okay.
know for sure.
Let's let's try to, instead of follow V.E. Schwab,
Mm,
aka Allison M. Kovacs layering, let's
yeah,
just put it all together so it makes sense.
I think that's a
So
good idea.
we find out by the end of the book that Marcus and Aaron are both sons of the Duke.
Right.
The lady, this is my understanding, the lady has been going around having these, pardon me, but this is what it is, these quote unquote bastard children all around town.
Mainly with Duke's Song and with King Liam. Those are the only two
So
we know.
so she's actually the wife of Duke's Song. So
Right.
Marcus is the legitimate son. They said he was a bastard son, but I was like, I don't know how that could be if that's her son
Is
and
it really?
she's really
No,
his
it's not. It's
wife.
not really her son. That's why when she's talking to Aaron, who she thinks is Marcus, she says, "Oh, I wish I were your mom."
Oh.
So that means Marcus's dad is Duke's Song. We don't know
Yes.
who Marcus's real mom is, but
Okay.
it's not the lady.
Okay.
Aaron's dad, we're assuming, because he looks just like him, is also Duke's Song, and
Mhm.
we don't know who his mom is. It could be the lady. She seemed very disinterested in Aaron though, because she ordered Aaron's assassination in the very beginning of the book, but the assassins got Marcus instead of Aaron. And
Yes.
she was like, "Oh, Aaron was just some nobody. We don't care about him." So it's possible that she's Aaron's mom, but probably not because I think
I
she
think
doesn't
we
care
should
about him.
say okay, so the lady is married to the Duke. That's
Mm-hmm.
real. We know that.
Yeah.
The Duke had a bastard son, Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
The Duke had another bastard son, Aaron.
Mm-hmm. They also have a legitimate daughter,
They have a
also named
legitimate
Adelaide.
daughter.
Yeah. She's the oldest. I
That
know.
was confusing me too. Okay.
And maybe another legitimate son. This might be getting too much into the details, who was forfeit to the dragons.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's just focus on the market
Yeah,
scenario
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
thinking. Okay. So we have the Duke. He has his wife. The Duke is a philanderer. He has two illegitimate children. One of those is Marcus, who the lady gets into cahoots with.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is Aaron, who the lady doesn't know about until she rolls into town, I guess, and she sees him and she's like, "Oh, this isn't good."
I
I
think
think she
she
knew that he was another son of the Duke and she's like, "You need to go because you might cause problems for me later."
right. So she somehow knew about Aaron. She knew that it was the Duke's son because she was like, "Okay, Marcus, you and me, we're going to take over. And if you're going to be the crown prince one day, we can't have another kid running around saying that he's also in the family. So we need to kill him." So
Hmm.
she knew Aaron was the Duke's son.
Now she probably knew about Aaron because Aaron, we find out in the underground, he decided um when Aaron was in the underground, he ended up killing the overlord down there. So he
Mm-hmm.
had kind of made a name for himself. And then he was like, I'm out of here, Reese's Pieces.
Exactly.
But everyone was like, oh my God, he could like totally be the new overlord of the underground. But he said, I'm not gonna do it. So I think that's probably when the lady was like, who? Who's this guy? And she's like, he looks like who? And she's like, he's gotta go.
I think you don't think the Duke told her. He's like, hey, have this kid dropped him off in the slums.
No, I think this guy is just like going around having babies left and right. There might be 10,000 children. We don't know.
I was thinking it was more purposeful of like he had this kid. Maybe he was like, I don't want this kid, that might not make sense with the timeline because basically every kid except their firstborn, how the old way worked, every other kid would be sacrificed to the dragons basically.
Hmm.
And maybe he was like, this kid maybe is okay. And I don't want him to be eaten by the dragon. So I'm just going to drop him off in the slums.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't
It's
know.
unclear. What we do know is that the Duke was having a lot of kids, not with his wife, the lady.
Yeah,
At least two.
at least two. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. The lady and Marcus are like, we're plotting to take over. We find this lookalike. He's got to go. They send the
Hmm.
assassins. Reverse Uno card. The assassins mess up and they kill Marcus, which I'm like, that's kind of crazy. Like, you got to be better than that.
Well, they looked alike. I kind of believed it. I was like, yeah, they look alike. It's dark. He was walking the same way Aaron always walks.
But then the lady is like, she doesn't realize
I'm kind of confused by that too. Because didn't they like see each other all the time? I'm assuming.
unless they're not only brothers, but they're twins.
That's true because, that's true because when they were first bringing Aaron in for questioning, they're like, hey, are you a doppel of this other guy? And Aaron was like, no, because doppels are exact copies. And this guy's a lot more well fed than I am.
Yeah.
But basically, that was it. He
Yeah.
just looked
So
healthier. So,
so it could be that in this case they're you know, just twins. We don't know.
okay, that makes a lot of sense because the Duke has these two illegitimate sons, and they could be twins.
Hmm.
And King Liam has two illegitimate kids with the lady,
Yes, we
who
find
are
out
also
later.
twins.
Yep. Now
Oren
maybe
and
what
no,
happened,
Rose and Connor.
yeah, they're twins too.
Right, right. So that can make sense to have two sets of twins.
Maybe the lady said, "You cheated on me and you had twins. I'm gonna go have twins.
Gonna
Watch
make sure
this."
I I ovulate two eggs this time.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So Marcus is the one who was supposed to heal the world.
Right. Yeah,
He
save
dies.
humanity.
Yep.
Hmm.
Aaron, the twin, air quotes, is now filling his place.
Hmm.
Okay. That's pretty much it for that first part, right?
Yeah. I think that's good.
I had one one funny comment. When Aaron wakes up from his coma, he's like, "Oh my God, my hair is so long." And then it says he slid his dagger out of its sheath. When he was done, water beads clung to the back of his bare neck and he recognized the boy in the mirror again. He like cuts his hair. And I was like, this is like Mulan.
I even noticed that part. That is like Mulan.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we also start getting more FaceTime with the cat, Mrs. White.
Mm-hmm. So she's a Puss in Boots, and she's like on the
Yes.
King's Council, which I'm kind of confused about because I thought the whole thing was like, we need to save the humans, no mythical creatures. Isn't a Puss in Boots considered mythical?
I know.
I was confused. And she's
I
just so
think,
openly around.
I know. I think Rose is Mrs. White or the lady is Mrs. White.
Wait, is that how Puss in Boots work?
No, but I think maybe she's like a doppel or something with one of these people.
That's interesting. So wouldn't that mean that there's like two ladies or two roses running around?
It would just mean that one died.
Hmm.
Or like Rose's like Fey ability is that she's actually a cat or something. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah, they're connected.
that was kind of what I was thinking because there's just this one line where it says Rose like gets on the table very cat-like.
She does, yeah. You're right. She does. She is described like that.
very cat-like and like bouncing around and like flipping. And I'm like,
Well, like very silent and like stealth like a cat.
yes. Hmm.
That's interesting. Okay, can Puss in Boots like do they have a human form? Because maybe, well, no, I guess if the lady is their mom, then Mrs. White couldn't also be in there. No, I guess that wouldn't make sense. Unless the lady isn't their mom. Could
I
Mrs.
think
White be the mom?
I want to say they confirmed that the lady is the mom.
Oh,
Although
do they
in this
actually
thing,
confirm it?
I think so, somewhere along the way.
Okay.
All right. Well, anyway. Okay. But yeah. So Aaron, he's now like, I have 8 weeks until the Duke, who he doesn't realize is actually his dad.
For real, for real. Although he knows
For
it's
real.
Marcus's dad and he's pretending to be
Yeah.
Marcus.
Yeah. He's pretending to be his twin, but he doesn't know it. And their shared dad is coming into town and he's like worried because he's like, if this happens, then the dad will know.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is the dad comes and he doesn't know.
I think that's because he probably has like 10,000 of these illegitimate children. And he's like,
My genes are so
who?
strong, they all look the same.
Yeah. He's like, who are you?
That's why does no one know what Marcus looks like? Has he been working remote this whole time? Is that why the lady is like, oh, yeah, you're Marcus? And why the dad is like, you're not Marcus. I don't know who you are.
I could understand the dad not knowing what Marcus looks like because that guy's just like, whatever. You're just like one of the many. The lady was plotting to take over the kingdom with this guy. You think she
I
would know exactly what he
know.
looks like.
Right? Were they just writing letters?
Now, all right, riddle me this. If you were plotting to take over the country with Mary Kate Olsen, and all of a sudden Ashley Olsen rolled in, they're not identical twins, but they're very close,
That's true.
you know?
If it had been a while, yeah, I mean, that's true. But then I'm still, but yeah, I guess the dad just doesn't know what his kid looks like. Or he knows exactly what Marcus looks like and he knows that Aaron isn't that.
No, I think he thinks it all the way to the end. Because he even when he's getting like caught, he doesn't give in. But we're jumping
We're
ahead.
jumping ahead. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So do we want to go to why the Duke is here now? Or do you have more stuff on the other things?
I think that's most of it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So the Duke shows up. When I first read this, I thought the Duke was coming because Marcus was on his deathbed and he's
No.
coming to visit his son. That wasn't it at all. The Duke was just coming to present a petition to the king. It turns out the petition is that he is accusing Prince Orin of actually being a dragon doppel. And he's like, King Liam, your son isn't human anymore. That means you need to disinherit him from the throne and execute him immediately. What a kerfuffle.
At this point, I'm like, nobody's who they say they are. Just give it up. Just let it go. Like, you know what I'm saying?
This is the world you're living in now.
Yeah, this is the world you're living in. Like,
go talk to Allison M. Kovacs about this.
yeah, like it's over. Yeah, so they're like, okay, because then you have this whole Aaron Marcus thing. Then you have the prince, and they're like, he's a dragon. And you're like, what? So can you explain the evidence that they have that the prince is a dragon?
Yes. Okay. So I've been watching a lot of Suits recently, and it felt very much like a Suits episode where you have the two lawyer sides and they each present their case. And after each lawyer presents their case, you're fully convinced. You're like, oh no, what do I believe? So
Mhm.
the Duke goes first, and his evidence is that the prince was on this dragon hunting thing with his like group
Expedition.
expedition. Yeah, with his
Yep.
like army. There's like 9 guys or whatever. Okay. He gets captured by the dragon. He's gone for like 2 days, and then they find him and he's like conscious or something. And they're like, oh my gosh, that was enough time for the dragon to break his will so that Orin would agree to become a doppel. So that's what the Duke is thinking. Okay, there's time for him to become a doppel. That's part 1. Part 2 through 8 is that all of the men who were with who were with Prince Orin on his dragon expedition, they all died in the next few months after from various causes. So some of them seemed like perfect accidents. Other ones seemed more like planned. So basically, the Duke is saying that the prince was behind all of this because he knows that the his like army people, they could like tell on him that he's a dragon doppel now.
Mm-hmm.
And the last guy to die apparently sent a letter to the Duke and said, "Hey, Prince Orin is a dragon doppel, but by the time you read this, I'll be dead."
Mm-hmm.
And so that's like his final piece of evidence, right?
Yep. Yes. Then the king comes in and he says, reverse Uno card. You set up my son and you killed all those people. And
Yeah.
you wrote the letter.
And so the king has some convincing arguments too, because the night before all this, a fox was found dead in the forest with its tongue ripped out. And apparently
The four tails that attacked.
the four tails.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that attacked.
It was the four tails that attacked.
Wow. Okay, so there's some interesting things with this. But apparently, if you eat a fox's tongue, then you can say whatever lies you want, even if you're on Kirin's bone. So this whole courtroom is on Kirin's bone. So the king says, "Hey, there was a fox that went missing last night. Perhaps you ate it, and then now you can say whatever lies you want. Also, if I kill my son, you're the next guy in line. So you have a lot of incentive to get this guy out of, to get Prince Orin out of the picture. And also, maybe you planned those assassinations against my other kids just to get the whole family out of the picture." So now it looks like, yeah, the Duke was behind all of this.
You know what would have been the solution for that?
Make Aaron the king.
No.
What?
Just ask the Duke to say a bold-faced lie and see if he can do it.
I know, right? Doesn't it seem like you could do something like that?
Yeah, but they said court adjourned. We'll come back.
I wonder if someone asks you to say a lie, if you could then say it on the Kirin's bone. You know, I don't know.
Now, maybe the problem is that if you said say a lie, you would just pretend like you couldn't. Maybe that's the problem
true.
with that.
That's true. That could also
You'd
be
be
a
like, the
problem.
sky is green. I mean, it's blue, you know?
Yeah, you know, that's a good point.
All right. Now I'm back on it. Okay. Court adjourned.
Yeah. Were you convinced by those arguments? What did you think by the end of that?
I was definitely, I could see both sides. It seemed like the Duke had more to gain.
Yeah.
The fact that he came into town and was like, you're a dragon, you gotta go. And then they were like, no. I don't know.
Yeah, the Duke definitely has a lot of incentive for this to be true. I had a thought. Another thing with this is that the Duke is described as like part of the old ways. And so they're like hardcore black and white humans only. And so like I don't think he would like a Puss in Boots in his like courtroom. So from his perspective, allegedly, if there is a doppel, it's a more honorable thing for them to like die as a human than for them to be disgraced as a doppel kind of thing. So he's like taking a really hard line on this.
The other thing beyond just the incentive that the Duke had in order to stage this is that the Duke, so that every year the dragons would come and they'd say, noble people, give me one of your kids. And each year they would do it. And let's just say on year one, the Duke said, all right, here's my kid. The dragon gobbled him up. The next year, it was time for the king to do it. And the king said, you know what? We're not doing this anymore.
I do wonder if that's what it was.
We're gonna stage a humanity against the dragons war. And now
That might be it.
yeah, and every year the dragons come in and then they look for their little tributes. And instead of just, peacefully getting offerings, they have to go in and torch down all of these towns.
So much more work.
Yeah, so I feel like the Duke has a lot of reasons to be really irritated about this whole situation.
I think you're right, actually. That's a great point. I
Yeah.
think that is what happened.
I think he might have said that in like one of like the closing arguments, but that I was like, that revenge coupled with the upside, I was like, he's definitely it.
Behind this.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I think how the dragon thing works actually is that it's kind of more like Hunger Games, and like all of your not firstborn children are like presented, and then the dragon just chooses which one he wants.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But there's a big age difference between Orin and the twins, between Rose and Connor.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the Duke had a few kids in that area, like within that
Yeah.
age range. So yeah, the Duke's kids were being chosen. And then yeah, probably by the time Connor and Rose were about to be born, I think you're right. That's probably is when the king was like, never mind. We're done
Yeah.
with
It
this.
it literally says it came time for the king to do it. And he's like, pass.
So
I'm
I got
gonna
a better
stage a
idea.
war. Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna stage a war instead and throw all of y'all's body on it. But I'm also gonna start this career fair so you guys are kind of okay about it.
I know you're missing your beloved children, but what about a job?
Oh my God. Yes. Okay, so
Oh, wait, I had one more thing on this
yep,
scene. Are you still on this
yep.
scene? Okay.
No.
Um,
Mm-mm.
okay. Good, good, good. So going back to the scene. Um, before the Duke has his whole petition thing, Aaron has a dream, and in his dream, he sees the four-tailed fox in the forest. And the fox is like, do you know how
Oh
much you've
yeah.
changed? And Aaron is like, what are you saying? Anyways, Aaron kills the fox and rips out his tongue. So I was just confused on, did Aaron kill the fox? Was this a vision? Is this what actually happened? I don't really know.
I wonder if what it is. So the final piece is you're wondering, was it the king or was it the duke? And the answer was it was the lady
Who killed the fox?
who did all of this.
Did all of what? Who planned all the murders of?
Yes. So the lady killed all of the guys to make it look like the crown prince was a dragon. And she set the rumors so that the duke really believed what he was saying. So when he went on the Kirin's bone, he really believed what
Mm.
he thought, but it was because the lady had given him bad information.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you think she's behind all this? What's her incentive?
No, she was behind it. By the end of it, you find it in the very end. So by
I
the
just
end, you
wasn't
do
sure
find
if that
out.
was a twist. If like
Well,
it makes it look like that, but actually it's not like that.
no. So I'm thinking she really did it. And her deal is she was really secure because she has kids on the Duke's side and she has kids on the O'Shea line, the current king.
Yeah,
So she's good either way, unless it's the crown prince. That's not her kid.
that's true.
So her tactic was I'm going to set the king against the duke and they're going to fight each other, knock each other out, and now it's left to my children, the twins, Rose and Connor. One of them would be put on the crown as like
Yeah.
the king.
Mm-hmm.
That was her strategy. Or it would be Marcus. Originally, it was
Right.
supposed to be Marcus.
How does Marcus fit into this? Why did she like Marcus so much?
That's why I'm like, that's your mom, boo.
I don't get it.
I don't know.
Unless he is just not supposed to know that she's her mom. So she's keeping up a little trickery over there by
Could
saying, "Oh,
be.
I wish I was your mother," but actually she is.
Could be.
I don't know.
All right. So I have some more mythology on the Puss in Boots
Oh,
that I
okay.
forgot about. Are you ready for
Yeah,
it?
go for it. Yeah.
So the Puss in Boots is a precursor to a Kate Sith or a Kate Sid,
Is that the fox?
Sidhe. So they call Mrs. White a Puss in Boots. I think they also call her a Kate Sith. They're very similar. They're both like mythological cat-like figures with magical abilities.
Okay.
They're both of Celtic mythology. Um, so the Kate Sith is Celtic mythology and it haunts the Scottish Highlands. If you remember from our author recap for Princess and the Goblin, our author George MacDonald,
George
his
MacDonald.
family, they were some of the Highlanders who were trying to wrest control from the UK. Okay.
Okay.
So this is like in their town. And this is like their lore. Typically, these ones are large black cats with white chest. They steal souls from the dead. They're associated with 9 lives. And this ends up becoming a predecessor to black cats and witches in
Oh,
European
interesting.
lore. Yeah. So my thought is maybe Rose is Mrs. White, and the king's last baby swap with Rose was with this Kate Sith slash Mrs. White slash Puss in Boots.
Are
And
they
she can
born as humans?
well, I don't know, but they have magical powers.
We don't know if they can turn into humans, though.
Well, it says Kate Sith's powers in folklore often include shapeshifting, the ability to see in the future, and sometimes the power to control weather. So again, very similar to like a Kirin.
Again with the weather.
I know.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we've talked about Aaron and Marcus. We've talked about the
Mhm.
Duke accusing Orin. We've talked
The
about the
king.
lady.
Oh,
Well, the Duke.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Duke accusing Prince Orin. We've talked about the lady possibly being the big bad behind all of this and
Mm-hmm.
really orchestrating all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you just mentioned another theory with Rose and Mrs. White. So that does
Yeah.
come up more in this section where Rose is like, she's feeling really self-conscious isn't the right word, but she's like, I don't know. She doesn't think she's a changeling because I think she really wants to be fully her parents' kid, her dad's kid. But she's kind of feeling like her dad doesn't like fully love her because she's different, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's not 100% certain, at least how she presents to Aaron.
That's true.
I think Rose is far sneakier than she
Mm.
presents. That's what I think.
So you think she knows she's a changeling, but she doesn't want Aaron to think she's a changeling?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I think Connor also knows that she's a changeling,
Yeah. Intriguing.
but we don't know.
We don't know anything.
Mm-mm.
Hmm. Okay, should we go on to the next big plot stuff that happens?
I think so.
Do you want to do it or do you want me to?
Why don't you do it? Because I can't remember
Okay.
where we left off, to be perfectly honest.
So we ended in the courtroom and then basically is the next big thing the assassination
Oh, the next big thing is that then we go into Aaron's backstory.
before the assassination? Yeah, sure. We can. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about Aaron's
It
backstory.
so it kind of
It's
basically what
all at
happens,
once.
it's kind of all at once. It's like Aaron is like going around with the assassination, and then you're seeing how he has all of these abilities because it's like a flashback to, oh, this happened, a flashback to, oh, that happened.
Yeah. Okay. So fairly high level plot summary. So they just had this whole courtroom hearing or whatever. The king's going to talk about it with his advisors. What ends up happening the next few days, though, is that King Liam gets murdered. He gets poisoned, and
Hmm.
everyone thinks, and it seems like it's the Duke who killed him because the Duke had just visited visited the king in his room. He leaves, the king dies, and then all of the Duke's men, they hear the signal, like the king died and banshees
Yeah.
started wailing. And so then
Yeah.
all the Duke's men started doing a coup and they started fighting all of the king's people. So,
Yeah.
anyways, so it seems very obvious that the Duke was the one who killed the king and is now trying to overthrow the family. And now Aaron needs to go find the Duke in the secret passageways that Rose told him about because he needs to make sure Rose is safe. So while he's going to go try to find the Duke, he's having all these flashbacks to his like previous life.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. Tell us about his previous life.
So I just read this like today and yesterday. So I don't know if I have it 100% right, but basically what happens is that Aaron effectively comes to at around the age of 6 or 7 or 8. That's like when his memories first start. So we don't really know what happens in those first years of his life. It's
Mm-hmm.
not presented to us. And it sounds like he can't remember,
Yeah.
which is,
Or he repressed it,
or
suppressed
he
it.
repressed it. Yeah. So we find out that Aaron is working with this doppel, this guy, and he is the face. And so the doppel has this blonde hair and he's training him up on how to be like his little assassin assistant.
Yeah.
And he does like a lot of like torture techniques that are very effective at training someone to do combat in the dark, in caves, be quiet and stealthy, steal, all sorts of stuff. And in order and it turns out that this blonde hair guy is the leader of the Kindly Souls, which the Kindly Souls had assassinated. They killed the king before King Liam, the current
That's right.
dying king. So they're
Yeah.
effectively the Kindly Souls are effectively like the leaders of the underground.
They're the top gang
They're
over
the
there.
top gang. Yeah. And so in order to be like fully initiated into the gang, you have to kill someone.
Right.
And so blonde hair man keeps telling Aaron, you got to kill someone, you got to kill someone. So then Aaron's finally like, okay. And then he kills the blonde hair man. Dum, dum, dum. This goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning. Okay. He kills the blonde hair man. Then all the kindly souls are like, oh my God, you just killed the big cheese. Does that mean you're the big cheese? And Aaron's like, I'm 12 or I'm 15. He's like, I just want to go away from you. And he leaves.
Yeah, I don't. Does he leave? I think he just doesn't become the next leader. Because where is he
He,
going to go?
I don't know. We don't know. But he's like, I'm not the leader. You guys figure it
Yeah.
out. Not my problem. Maybe that's how he gets out of the gang, is that they're like, all right, if you're not going to be the leader, then we'll just let you do whatever you want. I don't know.
Is he ever out of the gang?
I don't know.
I kind of took it as like, hey, you want to be a leader? And he's like, no. I'm like, oh.
Well, because we also find out during this time that the people who tried to kill Rose, they were
Mhm.
doppels who were bats, and they snuck in with Aaron.
Okay, I have a lot of questions about that. So the assassins who try to kill Rose, Aaron killed them. Then you said, "Oh my gosh, those were my friends."
He said,
And then
whoops.
Aaron, whoops. And then Aaron says, "What would the king say if he knew that I let them in?" When did he let them in?
So I think what happened is that when Aaron and Rose were on their Aladdin date,
Uh-huh.
he didn't realize he had the princess with him. And these assassins had probably been hired by the lady to sneak in and do all this stuff, whatever. He's he probably made a deal at some point where I don't think we were privy to it, is what was so confusing about it.
I don't think we were. Yeah.
And so how he quote unquote let them in is I think when he went down below, he picked them up, they climbed in his shirt or they flew around him. And then when
Yeah.
Rose let them into the castle, then they went their way. And then he didn't realize who Rose was. And then she was the princess. And then they took her wherever they took her. And then the bats snuck in and then tried to kill her.
That has to be the only way he let them in.
That's what I think. Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't explain any of that.
No.
So unless there's something else that happened that we don't know about, I don't know. But okay, but whatever. Apparently Aaron let in the assassins.
Yeah.
So, and then, yeah, and then he like backstabbed them, kind of literally.
Again, it's like, he's like, oh my God, I didn't realize it was you. I was like, yeah, duh. Nobody knows who anyone is in this book. And neither do I.
We're all confused.
Yeah. Okay. So we learn about Aaron's backstory. We learn that these bats are with the kindly souls. They're the ones that tried to kill Rose. He somehow helped them get into the castle.
Yes. We also learn, if you were to go back to that time when Aaron was in the church and he was talking to Clever Hands, and if you were to go forward and talk about and go to when he's talking to the lady, we learn that there were 4 assassins that were going to go after Rose and Orin. And yeah, is it confirmed that the lady ordered this? Because then that would leave only Connor, her actual son, who's not a changeling like Rose, in line for the king.
So towards the end, I think it is. Let me see. It's like the last page.
Yeah, was that like a confirmed thing or did I make that up?
So we find out that the lady poisoned the king to make it look like Duke Song had killed him.
Wait. Should we recap the plot stuff that happens?
Yeah,
before we
you're
jump
right.
around?
You're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Let's do that.
Okay. So where we just were, it appears that the Duke has killed the king. The Duke's men all start throwing a coup. Aaron is searching for the Duke in the secret passageways because he's trying to keep Rose safe. He finds the Duke, and now they have this whole epic sword fight in the secret passageways. And does he tell him that he's Marcus? I think he does at this point.
So
yeah, I think he actually discovers that it's Marcus earlier when they're talking with the lady or something. But I'm kind of like, how did you not already know? But whatever. Okay, so he knows this is Marcus, who has now come to like kill him. They fight it out. Marcus ends up getting cornered by the Duke. Then who comes out to save him but Rose? And Rose stabs the Duke in the back. It's enough to knock him out, but not to kill him. So now basically they're able to kind of like stop the coup and be like, all right, we have the Duke. Let's have another hearing. So they have the hearing with Prince Orin, who is now the king. And what exactly happens? The Duke doesn't say much. Basically, how the book ends, because that's basically where we are now, is they have this hearing with the Duke. Still kind of unclear what all happened, but the Duke appears to claim that he's like guilty. He's like, yep, I killed the king. And so now Prince Orin calls all of his advisors. He's like, okay, guys, what should I do? The Duke killed the king. And most people are like, you need to have an iron fist and you need to kill the Duke because this can't stand, including the lady. She says, yep, gotta get rid of him, show no weakness. But then Aaron, who's gotten called into this advisors meeting, he's like, what if you were just honest? And what if you were to just tell the people, I don't really know what happened. Let's open an unbiased investigation with people both from the South and from the North. And they can look into this matter and see whether the Duke is guilty and whether he should be killed. And then Orin is like, brilliant. You're my new head advisor.
And the lady's
Aaron is
pissed.
Like, and the lady's super upset. She's like, later, it's just her and Aaron. And she's like, Marcus, we had a plan. It was going perfectly. Why did you say that? And then she's like, oh my gosh, you said it because it was so brilliant. Because when they start this investigation, they're going to find out that Orin really is a dragon doppel. And then they're going to kill, were they going to kill Liam? Or sorry, the Duke? I don't know. Basically, she
So
was like, this is going to work out perfectly. You're brilliant.
yeah, because they're like they'll kill what's his face? The
Orin,
crown prince, Orin. And then they'll also say, well, sorry, Duke, you did. Well, it turns out that the Duke wasn't trying to get the crown anyway, or something like that.
he genuinely
Let's
thought
see.
that this was the right thing to do.
Yeah. I don't see how they get rid of the Duke in this brilliant plan.
Maybe they don't, because maybe she's like, maybe she's okay with the Duke still ruling because next in line will be her daughter. And she's married to the
Yeah.
Duke. So she's like, okay.
Okay, so she says, with Orin, the prince revealed, it will be Connor next in line, with the Southern Lords insisting on Adelaide, her daughter, as regent. She'll be harder to convince, of course, but then she'll only reign until Connor is of age, and he'll be a boy, missing his brother and father. You're so much closer to him in age than your sister is, Adelaide. You'll be great friends, I'm sure.
Okay, so what are you meaning?
So she's saying once Orin's revealed, they'll get rid of him as once he's revealed as a dragon, they'll get rid of him. Then it'll be Connor, but he's too little. So then her daughter, Adelaide, will be the regent. So nowhere is the Duke in here. So I don't know where she thinks the Duke's going. Maybe he's just going for his duchy and he's happy with that.
Yeah.
Because his only goal was to make sure that a dragon wasn't on the throne. So once that's accomplished, maybe she thinks he'll be satisfied. Yeah, and we know that the lady killed the king because Aaron says, why doesn't my father, the Duke, say anything? He must suspect it that you killed the king. She laughed. She laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. Oh, Marcus, you're a smart boy, but still so young. The thing to remember about your father is that his love runs deep. He loves the people of Three Havens and he protects them. He loves the last rain, such that he would risk everything to save it. And above all, he loves me. And she raised her cup to her smiling lips and blew a cooling breath across the tea. You know what that sounds like?
The witch from Narnia.
A black widow.
Oh, well, I thought she was like femme fatale. Isn't that the same thing that we
Yeah.
said? Yeah. No, I think you're right.
Does that not sound like a Kirin?
No, Kieran's like the virtuous one.
Well, technically they're like
Remember?
one and the same.
What? No, I thought
Well,
those were
sometimes they're
separate.
good, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad.
I thought Kieran's were always good.
Let's look at the notes.
Represents peace and good fortune.
Let me look. A kitsune, kitsune.
Well, yeah. That's a fox
Yeah, the fox. She
deceiver.
sounds like the
Yeah.
kitsune.
Yeah, she sounds like that too. Yeah, very
Does she not
devious.
sound like a kitsune? And then, and it's a shapeshifter with powers. And then we see during the time of the fighting, there's this crazy thing that's happening, and people are like, this is nuts, but they don't have time to think about it. Let me see if I can find it. All right, I'll just describe it. I can't find the exact line, but basically, while everyone was fighting, there was this black, like basilisk snake thing running around the castle, killing people left and right.
I don't know if it was killing people left and right, but I think there was a basilisk. I think he just had to like step over it or something,
A
right?
basilisk is like a huge snake.
Yeah, but I don't think they really described it a ton.
Yeah, it was just like a throwaway line, which I think that's the lady. I think she's a kitsune or she's like a dragon or something. And she
Oh.
transformed and she was running around killing people, making sure that her team
Oh, that would
won.
be interesting. Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
her being a basilisk, like Doppel, maybe.
something. Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. Interesting. Okay. So the lady is actually the big bad behind all of this. She and Marcus were
Oh,
evidently plotting all this. Yeah.
I have it if you care.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Um, the prince's men had come down to subdue the barracks. The southern lords had descended after, catching them in a pincer movement. It was not a bad plan, not at all. Only their lesser numbers failed them. So the Duke, they had a good strategy, but they didn't have as many people, so that's why they lost.
Uh-huh.
And reports of a monster in the halls pressing on the blood nobles from above. A black-scaled basilisk had claimed more than her fair share of their party. The doctor had several cases of paralysis to
Oh.
stabilize before he was able to see Aaron's wrist.
Oh, yeah, I totally like skipped over that. Oh, I bet that is the lady. I think you're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's super interesting.
So I think she's either a kitsune or because they are shapeshifters, so they can do different shapes, or she's just like a doppel of a basilisk or a dragon or something like that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Hmm.
Hmm. Do you think it's interesting that the all the people high up, well, I guess we don't know that the lady is a whatever she is,
Hmm.
basilisk or doppel or whoever, but
Yeah.
but there definitely is a changeling in the royal family. I think it's kind of interesting that though they're supposed to be like, oh, kill mythical creatures immediately, but secretly everyone in the royal family mythical. They
Right.
got the money.
Yeah, I'm
Stay
kind of
safe.
like the fight against humanity's already lost. By the end, everyone's going to be blended, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I could see that. Rose and Aaron are going to rule together.
Well, so there's a line, page 207. So Rose, oh, I forgot where we were in the
In the plot.
recap.
So
Yeah.
we were trying to see what happened. We had explained that they had captured the Duke.
Hmm.
Prince, now King Orin, was going to say, what should I do with these people? Marcus said, oh, you should just have an investigation. The
Yes,
lady was
yes,
upset
yes.
because you ruined our plan. But now we find out, let's just finish. And now we find out in the last pages that the lady was really behind all of this. And
Hmm.
now Aaron is like, can't believe that this lady is this evil. And she also wanted to kill me and didn't
Hmm.
think twice about it. And so now at the end of the book, he's like, okay, in his mind, he's like, okay, I'll be Marcus. And it says he would be Marcus until Aaron was safe and his enemies better friends with their own deaths. So now
Hmm.
Aaron's like full in on it. He's like, okay, I'm staying here and I'm going to ruin this lady's plans because she's
Hmm.
evil.
Yes, yes. Okay. So one of the things that we left out was when the Duke got caught, it was because Rose stabbed him. She was hiding in the dark and then she
Mm-hmm.
stabbed him in the back and then subdued him. That's how they
Mm-hmm.
were able to capture him. And there's this line at the end of 207 where Aaron is like looking at Rose and he's kind of like looking at her with like a and he's like, Aaron caught a glimpse of the woman growing inside of the girl and was glad her brothers stood between her and the throne. The princess would make a terrifying queen. Now, I just Googled, can kitsune have children in Japanese folklore? And it says they can. And the children may have, may either be a kitsune, they might be a human, or they might be a human with like supernatural qualities.
Whoa.
So,
I thought a kitsune was a fox.
yeah, but they can transform
You
into a
think the
person.
lady is a fox. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Okay.
she's
Okay.
transformed into,
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. And the only way that we'd find out
Mm.
is if we had a dog.
Oh, because their tails come out.
Yeah, their tails pop out.
I can't
And there's
believe
no
not one
dogs.
dog.
I
There
know,
was a
only
dog in the
foxes.
castle.
There was?
Yeah, when Aaron was first looking for a job, he's like, I could be with the dogs.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe it'll come up. But yeah, okay. So he has that line about Rose, and he's like, oh, she's gonna be a terrifying queen. And throughout this whole book, he's like, oh, she's too young. But I could totally see book two, she ain't too young anymore.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And there was also
That's where
like
it's
kind of
going.
this weird thing, like this weird obsession with Aaron and Rose, and you're kind of like, are they romantically into each other? They went on that weird Aladdin date, but then by the end you find out that they're cousins, and then you find out that Aaron is actually like 17 years old and she's 12, and you're like, this is all weird. But by the end, you're kind of like, I think it's more of like a knight and the princess vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think so.
So,
Until book 2 when she's 16.
so that's the end.
Wow. What a time. So, how did you feel when you finished reading this book?
I felt like the second half was a lot better than the first half.
A lot more happens for sure.
And it might be because we talked about the first half, so I was like a little shaky.
Primed.
Yeah, I was a little shaky before, and then we talked it out, and I felt like I had my bearings so that I was able
Okay.
to read the second half of the book and understand it.
Yeah. I felt like that too, even the first time I read it. Like, we hadn't talked about it yet, but I was like, the first half, I was like, I just like barely know what's happening. And the second half, I was like, okay, I kind of know enough of what's happening to where I can pretty much follow it.
Yeah, I think this book would benefit greatly by moving some of that backstory matter into the front half.
Or even just like I think it's fine to put the backstory in the end, but there's just so many words that I don't know. Oh, another word that we learn, we can make a whole glossary of this. It honestly might be super helpful. Like your character map for God of the Woods.
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah. But another word that I just learned on my second read around is the late wake. The lady is a part of the late wake.
I kept seeing that. I thought it was just like a municipality or a territory or something.
I'm no, it's a spy group.
Oh,
So she's a part of the spies called the Late Wake.
interesting.
And so that comes up a lot. And so like you see that in the first half, you're like, I have no idea what that is. And then I think you just learn in the second half what it is.
What more modern day fantasies will do is that they will have a character glossary in the back. Even Elantris had that, I think.
They did? Oh, they had the letter glossary. Did they have a? I don't know if they had a character one.
I think they did. I think they had at least like they had something towards the back. I think. Maybe they didn't.
Maybe they did. I don't remember.
But regardless, a lot of more like common ones, they'll have like, this is what this word means. This is what that word means. These are how these people are connected to try to like keep it together because it's just so hard to follow along. And it really is such an investment. Like now that we know all this stuff, now if we read book two, it should make more sense. But it's like book one's
Yeah.
so hard because you're having to like learn all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it would benefit, like you said, either by a glossary or by being a little helping the reader out a little bit more
I know.
fast.
Yeah. No, it was really confusing. Okay. Also, sorry, I found a line and I was like, is the lady? I'm so confused.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to read you this line because does this change everything? Um, no, I don't think it does. Okay, so it's Lachlan telling Aaron, um, you of course would know that, seeing as the lady is your mother, or can you even call her that when you're the bastard she never wanted? Do you still think you know what you're doing, Marcus? And so I just don't get how the lady could be his mother and the Duke his father, but he's still the bastard child?
Maybe she raised him and maybe that's
Maybe.
why she's close with him. And
Yeah.
maybe her actual son died via dragon. And then she got this bastard son, Marcus, and she was like, you'll do,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it where it is. But yeah, as we've said, it is very confusing. And I
Yeah.
still only feel like I know like maybe 75%, maybe
Yes,
85% of what happened.
I would agree. All right. After book games,
Yeah. Are we ready to rank it?
I think so. We didn't make that Excel sheet. We'll
Oh,
do it one
shoot.
day.
Oh, no, no, I can make it right now. I'll make it
All
as we're
right.
doing it.
All right.
Okay. All right. So message slash theme. Um,
I
I don't
liked,
think.
oh,
Mhm.
go for it.
I was gonna say I don't think it had any bad messages. I don't. I like. Let's see.
What
What
would
would
you
the
describe the
messaging of this?
themes? What would you describe the themes of the book?
I don't really know. I mean, there's a lot of um trickery, I guess, but like Marcus or Aaron is really honest
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, loyalty. I don't really know. I don't really know how I would sum up the themes.
I feel like when I think about the book, what I think the themes are is like modernizing mythology. So like something like that.
Okay.
So like does it
Yeah.
have a good message? No, but I think the themes are interesting. I think there's like a lot of like allusions to mythology. There's probably a lot within that mythology that like we're not like picking up on. There's probably
Right.
like if you wanted to think a little bit more meta, like what makes a person, what makes someone a human, what,
Yeah.
you know, there's race and like classes
That's
and,
true.
there's a lot of things like that.
It's like accepting other people who are different.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
like that. Okay.
Yeah. So for
Hmm.
me, I thought there was a lot of good themes. I think I would give it a 5.
Wow, really a 5.
I thought it was good.
I think I'll go 4.
Okay.
All right. Writing style.
I feel like the writing style is good, but the storytelling is mid because of the confusingness.
Because it's so, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I really like the way she writes, and I think it's really engaging, and it's also like clever, and she has a lot of like really beautiful, I don't know,
Hmm.
descriptions and stuff. But yeah, I was just confused for a lot of it.
I think for me, I'm gonna go 5 on the writing style, but in my other, I think that's where I'm gonna put confusing.
I was thinking about doing 4 on writing style.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it because I'm gonna put confusing as part of the writing style.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
character depth.
I think there's a lot of character depth with Aaron.
He's like 10
Um,
characters in one.
yeah. Um, Rose had a lot of character depth. What are you thinking?
I actually really like the characters now that I'm thinking about it more. Like they all seem like multifaceted. None of them seemed flat. Even like
Mm-mm.
Lachlan, who like wasn't a super huge character, was like he had humor and he like
Hmm.
I really like that about the book. Like going back to the writing style, like I thought there was a lot of humor in the
Yeah,
book.
very
Um,
funny.
yeah, very funny. The characters are really smart. Like there's
Hmm.
a lot of sides that you're not expecting to them too. Like the
Yeah.
lady, some big
Hmm.
twists. I think I'll go 5 for character depth.
I think 5 too.
Wow. Okay, lands the plane.
I can't give a 5 because the plane was a little bit on fire as it went down.
There's some turbulence.
It we didn't land on the moon, so there's that, but it was a crash landing. So I'm
Like
gonna
you mean
give
just
it
the
oh, go for it.
like just the full second half, basically? Like just too much was
Just
happening?
like the snip snap, snip snap, snip snap. You're a dragon. No, you're not. I'm your mom. Actually, I'm not. I'm the kid. This, that. I can't give you a 5 for that
Mm, yeah. Okay.
for me. So I'm gonna
Understandable.
say 3.5.
Oh, okay. I actually really like the way the book ended.
The
My
last
one
page,
complaint,
yeah.
yeah, like that last chapter, I just need to read that a few more times. Then I feel like I'll get the whole book because there's a
Hmm.
lot that goes on in that last chapter. But yeah, so I really like how the book ended. I think it's just the overall confusion was tough for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give 5 for Lance of Plane.
Okay. And I'm gonna give a 3 for being
Mm,
confusing at the end.
yeah, the confusion was pretty big.
If I wasn't doing this for the podcast, I would not have been able to figure all of this out. You know what I'm saying?
I know. This book
I
is
don't,
really confusing.
it's only 200 pages. And I mean, I had to spend so much time researching, reading, rereading, quadruple reading.
Yeah. I was telling Candy when I was rereading the second half, I was like, I don't remember anything that happened. I feel like I'm reading it for the first time again because there's nothing stuck because I didn't know who anyone was.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of a bummer because I feel like there's a lot of like there are so many layers in this book to where it could be a book that you think about for a while, but it's just so
Hmm.
hard to do it because you don't know anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
This
I
book would have
really
benefited by an additional 100 pages. This is probably the only time I've said this, is that I want your book to be longer to explain things.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Or just don't include so much.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need, I mean, part of it though is that the world is built by all the different names and stuff. So in some way, you do need all those different names, but it's just so hard having 50 different names of things you don't know what they are. And it's like, is it necessary? I don't know. I am so confused.
Yeah. And it's like going back to like Elantris and stuff, it was probably twice the length, probably a little too long there. So somewhere in between here and there is the appropriate amount. But it's like you also had, you would have someone who's like, doesn't know anything as part of the plot, but it was really for the
Yeah,
reader.
I
Like,
know.
I can't
So
even
do
remember
you,
his name.
Galadin?
No. Who was the
Parathin?
protagonist? It was
Raoden.
Serene
Raoden.
Raoden. Yeah, Raoden didn't know anything, and then he had people explain it to him, and you're like, thank God you're an idiot, you know?
Yeah, this book had no idiots. That's why we like the character depth so much.
Right.
Okay, so I was listening to a podcast today and it was on The Great Gatsby. It was really good actually. But anyways, one
Hmm.
of the things the guy was saying, he was like, "Oh, the one thing I really like about this book is that um the author Fitzgerald, he expects a lot from his reader, or like he knows his reader is capable of a lot of things. Like he doesn't spell everything out because he knows his reader can connect the dots. On one hand, I'm like, yeah, that is kind of nice because when everything is explained, then you're like, it's too simple or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I think because maybe I don't want everything spelled out, but I think this book was in a different language.
I think there's a balance.
Yeah.
And I think this was too far in I think you're expecting too much out of your readers to
Yeah.
want to invest the amount of time that it takes to know all of this without any supporting glossary. I mean, at a minimum, a glossary,
Glossary would have been very helpful.
like something.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay. So you gave in the other category, you gave a 3. I really
Three.
want to give a 5 because I do really like the book. But the confusing thing is just, I feel like it needs to be more represented in my scores. So I'm thinking 4 or 4.5. I'm going to go
Do what your heart
4.5 because I
says.
do really like the book.
I like the book too. Having done the investment, I like it.
Right?
Had it not
Okay.
been for this podcast, I
Mhm.
would not have done that investment though.
So, question. Would
Hmm.
you recommend this book to a friend?
Only if they listen to our pod. Otherwise, like if you're not willing to do the research on your own or you're not willing to listen to us talk about it,
Good
then
luck.
no. Yeah.
If
Right.
you're
If
not
you
willing,
go for it.
I was going to say, if you're not willing to reread this book 3 times like my friend did, I
Maybe
don't know
that's
how
the
you're going to
extra
manage.
pages. The extra pages is reading it
That's
3 times.
true. I think I might like that better actually than a book that's too long. I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, are you ready for our overall score?
Yep.
And perfect 4.4.
Oh,
I think that feels about right.
I would say so. That feels right.
Yeah. Definitely some caveats as far as like recommending this book on the confusion end, but we've already been through it. So I like it.
Okay.
As far as Reddit, there's only one post on Reddit, and the person said, I really like this book. And then 11 people upvoted it, and no one commented on it.
Oh,
That's about it.
interesting.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a good book. So, are we ready to start Agatha Christie?
I think so. So I think our next book that we're going to do, unless we do our bookalytics in between, is Hercule Poirot's Christmas, recommended by friend of the pod, Meg.
Yeah. I was thinking Hercule Poirot. I don't know.
We don't
I don't
know.
want to
That
say
might
it.
be the first poll.
Yeah. But I think that sounds like a good plan. And who knows, maybe we'll read Fox's Tongue Part 2 later.
I wouldn't mind reading it. I really like the book, and now that I've made the investment, I want to finish it.
I know, honestly, I'm good to add it to the list because I agree.
Me too.
We've spent a lot of time thinking about this now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for listening. You know where to find us. Email us, leave a comment, take our poll, leave a review.
Make sure to leave a 5-star review on our Spotify. I'm out here shilling every week, but we really need some 5 stars.
Yep, we need them. Merry
That's
Christmas to
right.
us.
Yes, give us a Christmas present. That's right. Merry Christmas to us.
Okay, well, see you
All
next time.
right. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Love
Love
you.
you.
Bye.